Hi everyone. So today I have another Japanese lock picked and gutted. This is a Lockman Megacross. It is a 9-pin lock, as you can see here. The 10th pin, as often happens in some of these, is a ball bearing that is just for center biasing, which is particularly important in this lock because you can see all the pins here are these kind of mushroom security drivers. So in order to keep everything centered, while you're putting the key in, you've got that ball bearing that kind of holds it all together. So 9 active pins, and again, all security drivers, mushrooms. So you do get some counter rotation action when you're going to pick those. But it's kind of the least unique part about this lock. The unique part is the fact that these 2 rows of pins are not symmetrical at all in the lock itself. So when you're picking, the lock is actually organized like this. So you've got dimple pins, or I guess like dimple-like a dimple-like row that come into the keyway from the side here, and you have to pick those, and I used a flag. But then you've got pins that come into the keyway from up here as well, and they come in at a weird angle. They don't come straight down the top. They come in kind of offset. And if you look at the key here, you can see there's the row right there of kind of dimples. But then up here on the top edge, on the right-hand side, as I'm holding it, this is the part that interacts with the pins coming in from the top. So kind of a weird configuration of pins. I'm not 100% sure why it was done that way, but that's how it is. So you have to, in addition to using a flag to hit the pins coming into the keyway from the side, you have to use a hook, probably is what I used, but you can maybe use a flag as well to hit these pins up here. And depending on the bitting, it can actually be quite problematic to try to sneak around these pins on the side and hit these pins on the top, especially if they're very low lift, or if they bind before the pins up here. So that's kind of the more unique part of this particular lock. I did not take the plug out. You'll see when I gut it, I get it this far, and then there's a brass pin in here that I could only think you have to tap out with probably a chisel or a flathead screwdriver or something, and I didn't bother to do that. So the plug is still in here, but you can see that's how the pins would go into it from that side and from the top. And then that last chamber, that's where you'd have a ball bearing just for center biasing. So there's no milling or anything in the plug as far as I can tell from out here, so nothing super unique that we're missing by not taking the plug out. So I think that's it for this one. Get it up in the vise and picked and gutted, and I'm going to put it back together now. But you'll see it doesn't take too terribly long. A little maneuvering through the keyway and having to deal with some of those security drivers, but not a too terribly difficult lock. Just a little tricky, again, because of the configuration of the 2 rows and the security drivers. So here we go over into picking. All right, here is the Lockman Megacross. I think I'm gonna try first, just set the pins up here on the top. So I think this first pin is always a 0 lift. It matches a notch on the keys that I think is basically there just to keep you from, I don't know if it's a key control thing or what, but I think it's always a 0 lift, and it totally gets in the way if these top pins don't bind first. But I think on this particular one going this direction, they do, so it should be okay. Right, I'm going to test the dimple pins. They don't feel like they're, maybe that last one. I was gonna say they don't feel like they're binding. When I've picked this before, I've gotten pretty clear counter rotation off of those pins. So I'm gonna go with, they're not ready yet. Having to lever off of this warding on the top is kind of a pain. I'm gonna try the side pins again. All right, it got some counter rotation and a click out of 5. That was 3 there. That's 4. So I'm just switching to a different flag here. That was 1. That was 2. That was 3. This flag is, for some reason, the perfect shape. It slides right down this warding, and I can test all the pins, so that's why I'm using this one. I felt like 5 maybe needed to be set, but maybe not. I'm just going to test the top pins again here. This one, I can't tell if that needs to be set or not. Okay, there we go. That was the most front pin on the top. I thought it was a 0 lift, but maybe not. Oh, you know what? I was completely wrong. I was looking at this notch on the key and thought that's what corresponded with the pin, but not the case. So, okay. I'm learning as I go here. So there you go. That is a Megacross picked. Whoop. Sorry about that. I was all ready to get this thing, except I'm gonna need screwdrivers. There. Okay. So I'm gonna relock it. And as is the case lately, I have never gutted this. So we're gonna see as we go what exactly I need to do here. I do believe I need to take this kind of housing off, and I'm hoping that it comes apart relatively easily, but we will find out. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to take off this back plate here. Okay. I think I can take this piece off right here. But let's find out. I'll keep all these pieces a little better organized. You're going to stay over here. You're going to go over here. Okay, that did nothing. Oh, there we go. Okay. You're going to go over there. Oh, perfect. Okay. That's what I wanted to see. So now I can take these apart. So you can see they've got the Bible covers, but there's 2 rows here, and they are bizarrely offset. That is the weird thing about this lock. So I'm going to gut this side right here first. And I'm going to put that on the right-hand side of my pinning tray. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And 5's got a different spring, so let's see what comes out of 5. A ball bearing. there is a mushroom driver and a key pin. And that, I believe, should be what comes out of all of these. Mushroom driver, key pin. Mushroom and key pin, and number 1 should be a mushroom and a key pin. All right. And then for, oops. Top stacks, I believe that this is also going to be a bunch of mushrooms, and that's basically it. Okay. Let's do the same thing here. Number 5. Oops. I meant to do that slowly. 4. Mushroom. I'll fix all these at the end. Number 3 is a mushroom. 2 is another mushroom. And number 1, surprise, it's a mushroom. There's the key pin. All right, fix the orientation of all these. And let's see, I'm going to take the plug off just because I want to see if there's anything interesting in there. And let's try not to strip these. Should have done these before I took all the pins out. Actually, I wonder if I can, well, no, it's probably not going to. Put the key in here and see if I can get some leverage. Okay, there we go. Okay, hopefully that should be enough to get the plug out. After I take this C-clip off as well. clip does not want to come off. It wants to rotate. Let's see if I can get it centered here. Okay, there we go. And of course, there's this pen that needs to be punched out. So that was all that work for nothing. Just gonna try real quick and see if I can pull this pin with my pliers here. I'm not going to be able to get a good grip on that. I don't think. Yeah, I feel like the way to get that out would be to punch it from this side maybe with something. Try to push it. I don't think there's any milling in the chambers here. Let's see if I can get my pick down in there. I'm gonna go with no. So I can't get the plug out, but there's no milling. So I don't think it's that important to see, but it's in there. The warding is interesting because it goes all the way back. It's got some holes in it, but I think that's as far as the plug's going to go without some extra tools, and I feel like that's good enough for the purposes of this video. All right, so here's everything. 9 mushroom drivers in that lock, which puts it as a purple belt version. No pyramid drivers. So that is a Lockman Megacross. All picked and gutted. Thank you for watching.